Hi guys, it's Nicole from the British Show Jumper, and I'm bringing you a quick video on how to stop yourself shaking when you're feeling nervous. Now, what's really important, my background, I'm a physio, and so we study a lot about the brain and about your fight or flight system, and it's important to understand that your fight and flight system, that things that makes you sweat, that makes you shake, it's completely normal. It's your brain being clever in a way. Sometimes it's a bit annoying, but it's a normal part of our the makeup of our brain. And you know, if someone was to come at me with an axe and was going to attack me, I wouldn't have control. My eyes would go big, I'd get ready to either run or to fight. And so it's really important that you start understanding how your brain is working and then realizing how you overcome that. So I wanted to share with you, I did a talk to a business group a couple of weeks ago, and sure enough, what happened is I got that usual pound as my chest as they was called up to the stage, and it was it really made me quite nervous. And so there's a few things that you can do to stop that happening. Now, one of the things that people don't realise is quite often we worry ourselves silly about something that we can't change. So for example, with that particular speech, I knew that I was going to have to be doing it. I knew I had prepared, so I'd done a little bit of preparation the day before. It wasn't a big speech, it was a topic that I knew really well. So what I did is I made sure that I didn't allow myself to think about it the entire way that I was driving there. I didn't allow myself, while everyone was introducing themselves, to think about the fact that I was going to be getting up. So I didn't allow my brain to work itself up. And I also now recognise that when I get the sweating, when I get the shaky hands, that it's completely normal. It's just my brain giving me that shot of adrenaline, and because that's what it is. It's important to realise the brain is just responding to a threat situation. So when we were, when you look at evolution, when we were sort of hunter-gatherers, we needed to be able to switch on that alert mechanism so that we could run away from predators, or sort of be able to respond quickly in a dangerous situation. So it's our evolution that's allowed us to be like that. But now our brain sometimes interprets a threat as being speaking in front of people. It could be someone being confrontational to you, and so here are the things that I would recommend that you do. So make sure that you don't mull over it, don't think about it, just block it out of your brain literally until a few moments before, and then take 3 really deep breaths. Think, okay, this is the way that my body is responding. It's a normal body response. It's going to be absolutely fine. There's no difference to being able to give the speech when in that state. In fact, it almost is telling you, I'm ready. It's giving you that kind of energy to be able to deliver a really good presentation. But it doesn't have to be a presentation. A lot of people get it just before they ride. A lot of people get it before. I had it actually again in, I had a lesson, a jumping lesson, and for some reason I got it in my head that it was just, I had this thing in my head that I was going to fall off, and I knew that going in with that negative emotion, going in with that negative thought pattern meant that my risk of falling off was much greater just because I was thinking about it. So what I reminded myself with my conscious part of the brain is I said, right, subconscious part of the brain, yes, you may fall off, but actually the likelihood of that happening isn't very great. Don't think about it. Take your 3 deep breaths to slow that system, because what's happening is the body is accelerating your system to get you ready to run or to fight. And what we have to do is just slow that system down. And the way we can do that is 3 deep breaths. I'll often with my hands do things with my hands so that if they are shaking, that people won't be able to see that. So I delivered a presentation when I was doing my postgraduate in vet physio, where that is the most nervous I've ever been. I had no reason to be nervous particularly. It wasn't a particularly difficult topic of conversation. It was challenging to be in front of the people, but with every challenge you have to remember each time you do something it makes it easier. So you have to push yourself out of your comfort zone and do these things, because it gets you to your goal, it gets you to the next level. So with my hands, often I'll do this, or you probably notice in my videos my hands are all over the place, just because that's kind of my personality. I'm like that anyway. But sometimes holding something in your hand, like a pen, something that you can fiddle with so that your hands aren't as shaky. This is a really good one as well, just bringing your hands in like so. I often go so, just to slow everything down so that you're not talking too quickly throughout the presentation as well. Just have nice pauses, deep breaths, and try to focus on the topic of conversation that you're presenting, or a topic that someone's talking to you about. If you're, for example, going into a riding lesson, what I did is I very much focused on what the instructor was saying to me, so that my brain didn't have a chance to get worried about something else. It really was just focusing on the task in hand. So I hope that's been helpful and helped you to think of these strategies to help you reduce the shakiness in your hands, whether it's before you ride, whether it's before you give a presentation. So remember that you're going to focus your mind on something else, so you're not thinking about it sort of the night before, the morning before. Don't allow your brain to focus on it. Distract yourself with something else. Take your 3 deep breaths, and then make sure you're using something in your hand or using your other hand to help to reduce that shakiness. Hope that's been helpful for you. I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.